Hello, Ken here from OK Portugal. Welcome to another episode of Portugal Farm Life. In last week's episode, Joaquin, our neighbour, came. He cut all of the grass. It's been lying on the field now for the last couple of days. It's been drying out. And now Joaquin is here with a sweeper to sweep it up into all nice, neat rows, ready for baling. This is another one of Joaquin's tractors. This is a Ford 3610. And this here is the hay sweeper. Bom dia, Joaquin.
Bom dia. Está, Ken? Tudo bem?
Tudo bem. So this is another one of Joaquin's cool contraptions. It's got these round wheels with teeth. And as he drives off, look how it brushes all of that stuff off the ground. And it's brushing everything into a nice, neat row. And the reason that's important is because when his hay baler comes tomorrow, all it has to do is go along this row and basically pick everything up, roll it into nice, big hay bales. And this is really fast. You can see the tractor's just charging along really quickly. It's not going to take long at all to get this all done. Make sure you tune into last week's video if you want to see how the grasses were cut and what kind of machinery he used. And that's it for this small section. After about 5 minutes, we've got these long 2 straight rows of grass all ready to pick up. And I know I say this a lot, but it's just amazing what a tractor can do. Even an old tractor, that Ford 3610 is like from, I think it's from the 80s or the 90s. And, so it's not exactly new technology or anything like that. But imagine trying to do that all by hand, just on that tiny little bit. Just behind me here, if you had to rake that up, it would probably take hours. It took 5 minutes. Imagine trying to cut all of that with like a hand scythe. Imagine trying to bale all of that. So, yeah, it's incredible what technology can do on a farm, even old technology. So he's just going around all the different parts here, and the only part that hasn't actually been cut or anything yet is this big bottom section, and he's going to be leaving that for a little bit later. It's at the lowest point of the land. It's a lot wetter down there, and so I don't think the grass is quite ready. It's going to be a nice quick job today. All he's doing is the sweeping, and then he says he's going to come tomorrow morning at about 9 o'clock in the morning and do all the hay baling. So a lot of the time when you're using a tractor, you have set speeds that you can do different things like plowing, tilling, rotavating, or hay baling. The engine can't move that quickly. But with like a job like this, it looks like you can do it really fast because it's not being powered by the tractor's engine. And obviously if you have a tool that's been powered by the tractor's engine, the faster you go, the faster that tool's going to move. And for a lot of operations, that doesn't really work properly. Yeah, I think this long field here is going to give us a very nice yield. The grass is looking really tall. Sorry, I'm calling it grass. It's actually wheat. Wheat and a mixture of clovers and things. And you can see here we've got some nice sort of swept bundles. There's lots of variety and different things growing in here. It's going to be perfect for the sheep. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that Gina's actually away at the moment. She's gone away for 6 days. She's in the Algarve. She's with her parents. So yeah, lucky her. She's getting to see the sea again, which is something that I do miss. I do love the farm life, but I was born in Cape Town. I was born very close to the sea. I was always in the sea. I was always in the water. So yeah, I hope you're having fun, Gina. And don't worry, Gina, I'm looking after your lady garden. It's looking very green and very lush and very bushy. You might have to have a little bit of a trim when you get back. So I'm going to leave Joaquin to do this. I've actually got a lot of work that I have to do on the computer now. I've got a bunch of editing and stuff, some property video stuff, some of those which you'll actually see on the channel soon. So yeah, I think they might actually already be on the channel, so make sure you have a look. Ken trabalhar no computador. I have video edit. So
yes.
yeah. See, okay. Amanhã, nova hora.
9 horas, mais ou menos.
Mais ou menos, okay.
9 horas, fardar, fazer rolo.
Perfect. Okay. All right, so I've got to get on the computer. I was telling Joaquin in my basic Portuguese that I just have to work on the computer, do some editing. And then he said that after lunchtime, he's going to come and cut the bottom field.
I made it back safe and sound. It was a really long journey. I took the bus from Castelo all the way down to the Algarve, was quite a long journey, but I enjoyed being able to look out the window for a change. I had an amazing time on the sea, in the sea and on the sand, but most of all I had a superb time having time with my family, which I really enjoyed. And now I'm back on the farm and really enjoying being back on the farm, even if it's super windy.
And you've probably noticed that Gina is with a whole bunch of hay bales. Now Joaquin did come, he actually brought his machine. It's one of my favorite tractor machines, which I call the hay pooper. It's probably called a hay baler, but anyway. And he pooped out a bunch of these hay bales. Unfortunately, I was super busy at the time. I wasn't able to go out there with my camera and film it. But don't worry, because we still have this whole field that needs to be done. Joaquin came and he cut all of the wheat down. It's busy lying in this field, and the reason it has to lie here for a while is because the sun has to take all of the moisture out. If you actually make a hay bale with wet, straw or hay or something like that, what happens, it starts to compost, and those hay bales can actually catch a light. So it's really important that this stuff sits for a while in the sun. All of the moisture comes out before you wrap it up into those bundles. And as you can see, it's all just lying flat in the ground. It's all drying out. And I'm hoping that when Joaquin does come, he's got to obviously sweep this into rows and then bring his hay pooping machine. And I'm hoping that I'm going to be here in order to film that. I've got a couple of property videos that I have to film before the end of the week. And on the weekend, they're forecasting rain, which is going to be fantastic. I don't know if you know from our videos, but we just have had very little rain. We're going into a very hot summer. There's going to be a drought. And so we are looking forward to it. But obviously if the rain lands all over this stuff, it's going to cause a huge problem for Joaquin. So I have a feeling that he's going to try and get this done over the next couple of days, and I'm going to be shooting property videos. So let's hold thumbs that I'm here when it happens. Joaquin is super busy. Obviously we've got our farm area, and then all the way down to the village, the local village there, he's actually looking after most of those fields. He's either renting them, or the people who own them are allowing him to cut the grass and basically make hay bales for his sheep. I don't know if you can see on the camera here, but we've got hay bales just over there in all of the different fields. So he has a big job. And I think what Joaquin is doing is he's basically baling everything. All of the fields that he's looking after, all the way down from where the lake is, all the way back up to where the village is. He's getting all of those baled. They're all sitting on the fields. And when he's ready, once it's all done, he's going to put the forks on his tractor, he's going to get his trailer, and he's going to come around to every single field and pick them all up. So this is my man cave, and it's basically like an old barn. And while Gina was away, I had a little bit of a party in here. I had good fun. We had some good food. We played some seriously loud music, and it lasted till about 5:45 in the morning. So not really Gina's cup of tea, but I enjoyed it a lot.
I'm glad I wasn't here.
One of the cool things about having a YouTube channel is that we get offered free stuff from different brands all the time. And we have to make very sure that the stuff that we're getting is actually something that we find useful. I mean, we're not trying to sell things to people, we aren't like a review channel or anything like that. But it is quite cool when we get given things from different manufacturers, things that we would have bought anyway and that have saved us a lot of money. Having a big farm is awesome because you can have big dogs. And if you don't know, this is Dog. His real name's Massac. He's got something in his hair. I think he's got chicken poo in his hair or something.
It's Eddie slime.
Oh, is it Eddie slime? Okay. Now, he basically sheds so much hair all over the house. Like we have tumbleweeds and everything. And Gina used to use just like a regular brush. And what we would end up with is the dog is over there. And next to the dog, we would have this entire pile of hair that's almost the same size as the dog. So anyway, I was looking on Instagram. I came across this. This is from a company called Neakasa. And it's a pet vacuum, and basically it's like a little cyclone pet vacuum, and as you can see, all of his fur's in here, and it's quite quiet. It's not really loud or anything like that, and you just brush over the dog, as you can see here, and he quite likes it. Look at him, he's having fun. It's not like a loud vacuum, like a loud, really sort of like harsh one. And then just show the bottom of the brush now. So on the bottom of the brush, there's a whole bunch of hair, and then there's a button that you press, and it basically lifts all of the hair off and just goes straight down the vacuum. And you can see just how much hair comes off Dog. I mean, she's only done like a tiny little section on him. She's actually only just done like his back leg. Yeah. And so it's all in there. It's not lying all over the ground. It's not getting all over the place. And yeah, it's very easy to use. It just has like an on-off switch. And you can change from regular setting to max. On max, obviously the suction's a bit more powerful. It comes with different tools. So this one over here is more of like a de-shedding tool. It also has a button that you can press, and then it releases the fur. And this is where the vacuum sucks all of the fur in from. And then it has this over here, which is basically a pair of powered clippers that also has a nozzle to basically suck all of the fur in. So as you're clipping, it's actually sucking all of the fur up. I'm really impressed with this. Now, we were given this vacuum for free. We aren't getting paid for this video. This isn't like a paid sponsored video, but we wanted to share it with you guys because it's actually a very useful tool for us, especially with having 3 big dogs.
On our other 2 dogs, Mimosa and Eddie, this comb works really well because their fur is a little bit thinner. Masak, however, has a double coat, so he's a really thick undercoat. And what I found is because the teeth combs are so small on this, that it sometimes pulls. So I've had to start with the old comb that I had and then use this as a finishing tool. It works amazingly and it gets rid of all those loose bits of hair once you've pulled them out with the shredding tool. But apart from that, that's my only issue with this at all. Apart from that, it's fantastic, particularly the shavers, that you can plug them in because we like to keep their paws quite clean so they don't get so dirty. And this time of year, there's so many seeds, this has been a godsend. And it's really easy to change the attachments. You just unclip it, find the next attachment, connect it with the pins, turn it on by the hoover, and it's powered by the hoover. And if I show you with some of his hair, it sucks up all the hair and doesn't leave any mess.
We've decided to come down to our little dam to try and escape the wind a little bit. It's quite nice and sheltered down here.
Yeah.
And it's also a great place to hang out with the geese.
Oh, they're so much fun. Do you know, my first words when I came home wasn't hello Ken, it was like, blimey, how big are the geese?
Yeah, I mean, you've been gone for a week, and in a week, I think one of them is fully feathered now. So Goosey Goose Goose is fully feathered.
Big G.
And Goosey Goosey Goose 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 is
Little G.
well,
Almost.
yeah, she's nearly there. She's looking pretty good.
Yeah, but they have grown a lot since I've been away.
I mean, it's amazing. When we first got them, you could hold them in like the palm of your hand, and yeah, they just pack on weight like you won't believe. They eat tons and tons of grass. I think 70% of their diet is grass, and then the rest of it are sort of like, you know, like chicken scratchings and stuff like that. When we first got geese, I didn't know what to expect because I heard that they were like really aggressive and, you know, that they're kind of like dangerous and that they can bite you and hurt you and stuff. And when you actually look at their beaks are like full of like...
Yeah, teeth.
Well, it's not really teeth, but it's like jagged, you know, jagged beaks. And they're quite fearsome. Apparently the end of their wings, or not the end, but kind of the elbows of their wings, have got like bone clubs, and they use those to club things, you know, so they're quite fearsome apparently. But our geese are the sweetest little creatures.
So funny as well.
They're absolutely hilarious. Like, you know, chickens are cool, geese are much cooler.
Yeah, they are very good fun, and particularly, and it's surprising how different they are in character. Like Big G loves to be in water.
Yeah.
Little G doesn't really, she kind of dips her toe in and has a drink, but doesn't go for a swim.
Yeah, she's dirty. She's a little bit filthy in comparison. He's like pristine and constantly cleaning himself, and she's got like muck and stuff all over her chest.
Aww.
But they're both very sweet. And if you've got the space and you want to have a really fun animal, definitely get some geese, and maybe get them as like little goslings so that you can bring them up and imprint them on you.
Yeah, spend some time with them, and like we feed them every day by hand, so they're used to us. Yeah.
Although the big Goosey Goose Goose, well, when he grabs stuff out of your hands, he sometimes gets your fingers.
You know about it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So our farm is conveniently located between 2 cities. We have Castelo Branco, which is where we are right now, and we have Fundão, and we also are quite close to another city called Covilhã. Now the reason we're here today is to do some grocery shopping, and but we're first going to make a little pit stop at this place over here called the Forum. And it's basically a big shopping center, and we want to grab ourselves something to eat before we go shopping. Because don't tell anyone, but Gina's getting hangry. She's getting hangry. She's already snapped at me. I nearly died. Now I'm not really sure what their filming policy is like in here, so I might not be able to film. Now I don't see anyone in here who looks like they're going to stop me, so I'm going to try and get some sneaky filming in. So as you can see, it's a typical kind of mall. We've got lots of different shops, clothing shops and all sorts of stuff. Upstairs they have like a food court, and when we go shopping for food, we find it's always a good idea to do that on a full stomach, otherwise you end up buying a whole bunch of crap that you don't eat. And instead of going to like a restaurant where we have to sit down and wait for ages for drinks and stuff, an easy place to go is here. You can get something good and cheap to eat. So I always like to come to this place called Portugalia, and up on the board there they've got like a steak, and you get salad and chips, or you can have rice and you can have potatoes and all sorts of stuff. And Gina always goes for a chicken salad. She likes her chicken salad.
Well, in the summer, in the winter, I just have chicken and chips.
And then they have a bunch of different things. They've even got like McDonald's, and they've got like a Burger King and a Pizza Hut, but obviously I don't really like to eat crap like that. So yeah, but there's some good stuff. But I find that this one here, you know, you can't go wrong with salad, steak and chips. It's all natural stuff. It's not a bad little meal. This is €9.95. You get the salad, you get the egg, you get the steak. It's in some kind of like butter sauce, and then you get the chips. Gina's got a chicken salad, and it's got eggs and pineapple and tomatoes and I'm not sure what else. But
potato fritters because you have to.
yeah, and she always gets the chips. She loves her chips. Born up a tree. And after lunch, there's a nice little terrace out here where you can drink the rest of your beer and chill out before doing some shopping. And it's much cheaper than going to a restaurant. Cheers. And now it's time for us to do the really exciting part, grocery shopping. But afterwards, there's actually something cool that I want to show you. That's kind of the reason why we've sort of come here, because I wanted to show you something very cool that we were given that's going to make grocery shopping a lot easier in the hot summer months. So we've just been shopping at Lidl. It's one of Gina's favorite activities, going grocery shopping, along with washing dishes. Washing dishes is another one of her favorites. I'm just joking, of course. And yeah, this is the thing that I wanted to show you. So in the back of our very dirty car, we have been given this thing. It's a little bit dusty because I actually had this in the man cave. It is a fridge, and it's a fridge freezer, and it basically plugs into a 12-volt socket on your car. It's got a compressor, so it's kind of like a fridge that you would have inside your house, but obviously the current draws a lot less. Now the reason why I'm very excited about this fridge is because A, we got it for free from this company called VEVOR. They've also given us like a link where our where our subscribers can basically get a discount. That's going to be in the description just below this video. I'm also going to pop it up on the screen for you guys to see. And yeah, it is a very cool thing. I've had it for the last week. I'm very excited about it. I have absolutely nothing bad to say about it. Now at the moment the car isn't on, so it isn't on, but you can basically set it all the way from minus 20 degrees Celsius all the way up to plus 20 degrees Celsius. It cools really quickly, and it's got a whole bunch of space. I was able to put 7 1-litre Sagres bottles in here and about 8 tins of beer. And I had this in my man cave when I had my little party. It got cool really quickly. Even in the car, it gets cool super fast. So again, I haven't been paid, for this. This isn't an advert that I've been paid for. They've basically given me this product. I told them I'd stick it into a video and I'd use it. I wasn't sure if it was going to work because sometimes these like little fridges like this, in the past when I was younger, they didn't work very well. But this thing is superb. I'm so happy with it. In 20 minutes of driving, it gets down to really low temperatures. And in the summertime, when we do shopping, what often happens is by the time we get to the farm, a lot of the cold meats and things that we've bought tend to spoil. And I don't find out about it until I've got a braai going, I've got the coals going, open up the pack of meat, and suddenly you're hit with this whiff. So this is going to be a life changer. Right, so let's open up the door. Gina's going to start loading it up. And as you can see, it's fitting a whole bunch of stuff in here with no problems. We still have a bit more to go. And as I said earlier, that's a six pack of beers, and these are 1-litre beer bottles, and it fits 7 of those just in this little compartment over here. And then you've still got room on the side. So loads of storage. Gina, are you getting it wrong?
I didn't pack it very well.
She hasn't packed it very well. But what we're trying to show you is that you can pack a whole bunch of stuff in there. It fits in the back of your car. It uses a 12-volt plug socket, so it runs off the car's electrics, and it can also run off your house's main electrics. So you could run it in a caravan, you can run it in a house, you can run it in a car, and I'm actually really, really chuffed with it. And I'm sure Gina will get the packing situation going well. Any second now we're going to be there. Oh, look at that. There's just a whole stack in here. And don't forget the hummus. Hummus. Perfect, look at that. That is a whole stack of stuff in there. Job done. And basically, once you've turned it on once in the car, every time you start the car, the fridge will automatically turn on. So at the moment, this is the reason why it looks a little bit garbled, is because of the frame rate of this camera. But it's showing 22 degrees Celsius. It's showing the voltage, which is at 13.6 volts, and we can change the temperature. So I've set the temperature to 5 degrees Celsius, and it's basically set now. And we'll have a look once we arrive back at the farm. We have arrived on the farm, and I've purposefully left the engine running because we need the fridge on so we can see what the temperature is. Okay, so the temperature is set, well, it's at 6 degrees. The temperature is set at 5. Oh no, I set it to 6. I thought I set it to 5. Okay, so it's actually cooled down exactly as it said it was. And yeah, it's cold in here. Absolutely perfect. I have absolutely nothing bad to say about that fridge whatsoever. They do a couple of different sizes and things like that. Obviously have a look in the link below, in the description below. They've given like a discount code for you guys if you want to buy some of these things. And yeah, 5 stars, man. And I can't wait to fill it with beers and go somewhere and spend the day outside with some ice cold beer that comes out of one of these portable fridges. Awesome. So it's the next day. I'm not really sure what's going on. I think there's a fire or something. I mean, I can hardly see the mountain in the background. And there's like lots of, I don't know, I can smell smoke, but like the air is like, it's almost like mist, but obviously it's very dry. So I'm not really sure what's going on here, to be honest. I've had a look on the fire app. There's an app called Fogos.pt, and well, we're kind of in the center of the map, and there's no fires anywhere close to us, so it's a bit strange. We've had like really bad wind, and the wind has just kind of died down. There's actually a cheese festival, the Sweleda Cheese Festival, that was supposed to be happening this week, or this weekend, and that's actually been cancelled. I saw on their Facebook page that all of their decorations and things were getting blown all over the place, so they've cancelled that, because we were going to go to that tomorrow. But yeah, it's very, very strange weather. And now we've reached the end of the week. I've got to get this video wrapped up for our Patreon members. As you can see, these are still in the field. We've got, I think I counted about 10. So we've got 10 of these big hay bales all around this sort of area that goes around the farmhouse, and around back to here. And yeah, so the hay bales still haven't been picked up. I haven't got the footage yet of the bottom field getting hay pooped, because I definitely want to get that so you guys can see. It's one of my favorite things to watch. But anyway, I'm going to have to go now because I've got to get this video done and dusted. It needs to go live tomorrow, Sunday, at 11 o'clock for everyone to watch. And it's going up now for our Patreon members. So our Patreon supporters basically get to watch the videos before anyone else. So yeah, I'm really sorry that I couldn't finish with some hay pooping action. But hopefully next week we'll have that for you. So tune in next week, same time, another episode. All the best from the farm in Portugal. Ciao.